And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second series of the broadcast, the second series here of the Crank Gather Season 2 group stage. We just wrapped up with our first matchup with Streamerzone versus Shopify, and Shopify had a very strong showing against Streamerzone. They did have their moments in their respective matches. I mean, Jumi, he did not look too bad at all against Björn, and likewise that 2v2 was a crazy back and forth. But now we have another fresh best of 5 Team League match. Let's go. Let us go as we switch our scenes over and catch up on the matchups themselves. Here we go. Up first, we have LunaSea. LunaSea is going to be the starting player for Streamerzone. He is a Korean Protoss, of course, does step into the ring, and he's going to be going up against Zoun in a PvP on Ruby Rock, followed by Gerald versus Maru. Oh boy, Maru did struggle last night. Maru did go down to Solar in the Team Vitality match against Team Falcons. I do recommend the VODs. Solar, of course, he has been on a winning record against Maru as of late, beating him in GSL and beating him here in the Team League match as well. But I would say that Maru, he's going to be a lot more comfortable against Gerald, especially on 10,000 feet. Maru, he is known for all-inning in TVP, and we expect an all-in, 100%, especially on 10,000 feet. We expect a 2-base all-in, maybe even a 1-base all-in. Meanwhile, when it comes to the 2v2 match on Gem Garden, Nightmare and SOS, once again, they do join forces as the Protoss duo, and they actually did quite well against Lambo and Harsum, surprisingly well. So I do have faith in them. We'll see how well they perform. Meanwhile, this time Team Vitality have a different pairing. If you weren't here yesterday, you may be not familiar, but Ryung, he actually played with Maru. He played with Maru. He had the duo Maru and Ryung, double Terran duo in 2v2. They did struggle. They both went proxy 2 racks Reaper. So basically they both went 1 base proxy 4 racks because they had 2 racks each, mass Reaper, and they didn't really get much done. I'll be honest, they had a bit of a rocky start, rocky back and forth. In the end, Team Falcons, they defended well. Basically Bunny carried. Like Bunny, he was the wall. Bunny defended and shut down the proxy hard, and they were able to snowball from there. I believe Rogue was his teammate. So again, Team Falcons, they had a really strong showing yesterday, of course. So this time we found the problem. Maru. So Maru, he is going to be kicked out of the 2v2 roster, and we have Zoun stepping in instead. So Zoun and Ryung joining forces in that 2v2. I'm curious to see how they work together. And then we end the series with Nightmare versus Ryung on Andromeda. Now, this is going to be a rematch. If you were here a couple of days ago, I think it was in last week's Wardy TV Monday, if I remember correctly. It might have been another tournament, but we did cast Ryung versus Nightmare. That they were a series that we did cover. It was either in that or Lil League Cup. True, it was one or the other. But Ryung did take down Nightmare 2-0. Ryung had a really strong showing, had a crazy dominant result in that tournament. I believe it was Ryung versus Nightmare, and that led into Solar. And again, I think that was in the Wardy TV Monday last week. But again, Ryung, he had a really strong showing there. We'll see if he can repeat that success. Bearing in mind, the scary thing, or the thing to bear in mind here, is that these are best of ones. So even if there's a favorite player, if you can come in with a specialized build, with something special, something cooked up for a map, or for a matchup, or for a specific opponent, then you can snipe someone and bring them down with just one game. That's all you need, papi. That's all you need. But here we go. Here we go. Regardless, we're stepping into our series here. Up first, LunaSea and Zoun on Ruby Rock. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Streamerzone. It is LunaSea. He's crazy, Papi. He's crazy. Here we go. We have our matchup. We have our best of one. Once again, as a reminder, this is a best of one in the initial Team League match, and they will come together to form a best of 5 with all these matches taking place back to back to back to back. But first things first, we are opening up. Everything's looking normal for the time being. We'll keep an eye on our probes. We'll keep an eye on the second pylon placement and how our players decide to open up. Meanwhile, shout out to Chijik. Chijik, of course, is the sponsor of this event. They are a streaming platform, a competitor to Soup, a competitor to Afrika TV. So big shout out to Chijik. unfortunately, I mean, actually, I should say that they have improved their routing when it comes to watching their streams on their platform outside of Korea. I know that it used to be really shaky and really rocky, and it was really rough, especially if you were in Europe, right? Watching Chijik from Europe was very brutal. You get a lot of buffering, you get a lot of instability. Again, the reason for that was just, again, inefficient routing to the Korean servers. But I believe they have worked on that, and it is a little bit more stable than it used to be. That's good. It's good. And again, a lot of Koreans stream on Chijik, so if you want to tune into some Korean PoV ladder sessions, if you want to tune into Shin, for example, Shin, he does stream on Chijik. Hero, he made a Chijik account recently. Ryung streams on Chijik. Crank, of course, streams on Chijik as well. I want to say Supernova, right? If you maybe haven't seen Supernova for a while, I believe he also does stream. And I believe Supernova, he streams a lot of SE Evo. Like, there's an SE Evo community on Chijik as well. So Supernova. There's another that's like slipping my mind. I don't think it's 3 Point. It's oh god. Is it Rumia? Might be Rumia. One of the Korean Zergs for SE Evo. Yeah, so you can find their streams if you are curious. For now, we are breaking out. Taking 2-gate opener out of Zoun, 2-gate opener out of LunaSea. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. A double adept from our red Protoss. Meanwhile, Stalker Sentry out of Zoun. Zoun going for something more economic, something more mid-game oriented, I should say. LunaSea being more aggressive as he moves out with those adepts. Bearing in mind the 2 adepts, they can one-shot probes, so it's going to be on Zoun to keep up with the adept aggression. Let's see if we can keep up. Hello. What are we up to? As Zoun, he does sneak out a probe. Twilight Council opener out of Zoun. Are we feeling a proxy pylon? If we throw down a pylon here, are we feeling proxy Dark Shrine? Have my attention. Oh. Meanwhile, the shade is denied. Twilight Council's halfway done. So far, we're just calming down, building up on 2 bases. I feel like if it was going to be a Dark Shrine, we would have seen a pylon by now. Yeah, there would be a pylon by now, so looks like it's just going to be Blink. There we go, Blink is on the way. Zoun, he thought about it. I mean, the probe is still chilling there, by the way. As both players getting into Blink. To see Zoun attempt to catch out the initial adepts. They did barely get away. And so far, we have more or less kind of mirrored follow-ups. The openers are different, of course, but when it comes to initial units. Let's have that. We're settling in. Adept gets called out. I speak up here by Zoun. Does catch the adept, and LunaSea just expands. Okay, so LunaSea just building up in towards the mid game here. LunaSea does have a reputation of being hyper aggressive, but here we're kind of being more economic. We're taking a 3rd base. We're not going for any kind of gateway explosion or anything like that. So we do have a faster robo for Zoun. Zoun is being safe. Basically, if Zoun was going DTs, LunaSea could just die. Why is that? 0 detection. He goes for the expansion before the robo, and even these extra gateways as well. So 0 detection here for LunaSea. As I mentioned before, Zoun, he's playing it safe, going for the robo first. Does allow for a War Prism to be more active as well, but Zoun should otherwise be going for a later expansion. So safer play out of Zoun. And LunaSea gets away with it. He gets away with cutting corners. Observers on the way for Zoun. Even rallied here in between the bases just in case. LunaSea moving in. We have our singular adept shading to the natural. LunaSea, he wants the 3rd. So far, Zoun is keeping up. Oh, Zoun is keeping up. 2 probes going to get picked up. Not bad. And there's some damage. Bearing in mind as well that LunaSea does have the faster third base, so faster economy, faster saturation. Not looking bad. The one concern here is that there is no forge. So we have +1 on the way for Zoun, but no forge for LunaSea. So there's going to be that big upgrade advantage here for Zoun. He'll have that +1 and eventually +2 timing as well. And that is nowhere in sight for LunaSea. Heste LunaSea. Oh, as LunaSea does get caught out. Lose both adepts. LunaSea is pushing behind this, getting a proxy in the center of the map, and it looks like there is a reason why LunaSea has no forge and has no upgrades. It's because he's committing. He's committing, is doubling down. He has 8 gates, 2 more on the way. It's going to be a 3-base, 10-gate all-in, and LunaSea, he's taking no gases. What I mean by that, no gases at the third, no gases at the natural, only 2 gases in the main base. He's going for a charge all-in. He has stalkers, yes, so he's going to be reinforcing with purely zealots. Speaking of, there they are. Yeah, just mass zealots to reinforce. This does get outscaled as the game progresses, so this is a 3-base all-in. If Zoun can defend, if he can survive, then Zoun's army will get better over time, especially with Archons. There's our Templar Archives. Archons are on the horizon. Zoun, he just has to hold on. Easier said than done. And the Observer, he's supposed to move out. Yeah, he sees the massive army. Again, LunaSea, it's all or nothing. He's got a massive amount of zealots. How many? He's got 24. Jesus. That's 24 zealots back. Yeah. Shield batteries are finishing up. Force fields, they're going to be key here. As he has to try to create that wall. He has to cloak up the army. A lot of zealots are wasting the DPS. Not bad. Decent force fields, but there are just so many zealots. And LunaSea, he may just have too much here. Yeah, he's getting on top of the Stalkers. Stalkers are going down. We never got to the Archons, they never morphed in. Yeah, no Archons, the boys are being pulled. Once again, a very nice force field here. The Zealots, they just do no damage. A lot of wasted DPS until it runs out. Zoun blinks up into the main, defending his natural base. He will give up on the third. But he may have just lost too much here. He lost how many? He lost 8 Stalkers, 13 Zealots. Brutal losses there for Zoun. There's the first Archon. They're finally coming. But again, they feel a little bit too late. Feel a little bit too late here. The Archons, it would have been crucial. As the Archons are getting picked up, there's 1 Archon left. Does get a couple of volleys in, gets a lot of damage, but will still go down. Yeah, it does still fall. And LunaSea has done it, and with that, LunaSea with a very cheeky build. Not just a cheeky build, but also a very greedy build as well. LunaSea snowballs out of control. He takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. A very strong start for a Streamerzone. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is their first win of the tournaments. I think they got 4-0'd last night as well, in the preliminary stage. So yeah, GG, well played. And again, winding it back, LunaSea, he was very greedy. He was cutting corners. He skipped the robo. He got a really fast third base. He got faster 3-base saturation as well, and it was never punished, right? Like, sorry, he's winding it back down. There was no adept harass. There was no stalker aggression. There was no orca harass or anything of that nature. No war prism harass. There was nothing really slowing down the economy of LunaSea. So he got away with greed. He got away with a lot of greed, and then of course he cut his gases, threw down 10 gateways, and went for it. Went for the 3-base all-in. GG, well played. And Zoun was caught with his pants down. The pants were down, and with that, LunaSea does take the first game, and now we're getting into game number 2. Who is LunaSea? Never heard of him. If you're a little bit newer to StarCraft, LunaSea, he's been around since 2020. LunaSea, he is one of the Koreans that rose up during the COVID era of StarCraft. So if names like Honmono, if names like Quanta, 3 Points, Stephen Curry, alongside LunaSea, of course, alongside all of them, Rebellion, when he name changed, so Gilzing into Rebellion, these are like the up-and-coming, like quote-unquote Code A Koreans. So again, Quanta, Honmono, Percival, I feel like is a little bit more notorious because he did get into GSL Code S at one time. So Percival, he's like one step above them, but that's where you have LunaSea, 3 Points, Stephen Curry, Farmy, true, Farmy's another one. Farmy, Gilliman as well. That's like the quote-unquote like semi-pro, like Code 8 up-and-coming Koreans. The Koreans that compete a lot and did improve a lot, but never quite got into Code S. Never got quite into that level. But GG, well played. So again, it's been around for a couple of years now. 5 years? Jesus. I think LunaSea was around before that, but like he got onto my radar at least in 2020. Like again, during COVID, just because that's when everyone was starting to play more. And everyone started to improve a lot more as well. Yeah, all good, all good. But with that, we're now getting into our next game. We're going to be getting into game number 2 here, and with that Streamerzone, they do take a lead in the series. And up next, oh boy, we'll see if they can extend that lead. They've got the momentum at least. They do have the momentum, but it's not going to be easy to maintain that momentum, because up next we have a brutal matchup. Considering the map of choice as well, it's going to be Maru versus Gerald. Oh boy, here we go on 10,000 feet. The reason why I'm a little bit concerned here is 10,000 feet is the smallest map of the map pool. It's the smallest map. It is the rush map as well. Aggression is heavily favored on 10,000 feet, and our Terran player here is known for all-ins in this matchup. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Streamerzone. Wow, leading the series here 1-0. We'll see if he can keep that momentum going for his team. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Here we go. Whew. As Maru, he does step into the ring. He had a bit of a shaky performance yesterday, but here he is. Brand new day, brand new Maru, brand new matchup, brand new map as well. TVP on 10,000 feet. We're expecting hyper aggression out of Maru. Already double gas open out of Maru, going for a faster factory, going for a delayed CC, and we'll see if Maru goes into reactor Reaper Hellion, into faster Cyclone play, into faster drop play, into more committed tech, into Banshee play. Maru, he has options. We'll see where he takes us. Also, I did leave a special part of that story out regarding LunaSea. We spoke about his history, but in recent times, one of the reasons why, or the reason why LunaSea joined Streamerzone, it was a recent pickup during the last Home Story Cup. If you remember, LunaSea, I believe, wasn't a Home Story Cup, but he traveled with SOS abroad. It might have been Home Story Cup to a tournament, and LunaSea has really good English, and LunaSea, he acted as a translator. SOS, of course, is on Streamerzone, and the team took note of that. They're like, hey, it was really cool that you were able to you were able to be a translator, able to interview for SOS, and as a result, LunaSea did join the team relatively recently. I think it was this year, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was Home Story Cup, if I'm not mistaken, but I have to double check. Yes, okay. I was second guessing myself because I was like, oh, it was Home Story Cup, it was this year. And I was thinking, I was like, wait, did we have a Home Story Cup this year? Like, I was like reaching back into my mind. Yeah, so it was Home Story Cup number 27. Number 27. And that's the event where LunaSea did go to. He acted as a translator for SOS, and Streamerzone took note of him and picked him up. That was earlier this year. Meanwhile, as we step into this, we do see Gerald opening up, going for a standard opener, going for a second choice Twilight Council out of Gerald into Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, Maru back at home, he went into reacted Marine production, not reacted Reaper, preserving his gas, going into a 1-1-1 into early drop play. So we start with the early drop, but the follow-up is where my attention lies. Tech Lab is already on the way on the factory. With this, we can go for a safety Cyclone or go for early tank production. Yeah, there it is. Early tank. Not playing safe. So very fast tank production, which means we could follow this up with Vikings, and we could, yep, there we go. So tanks are on the way, Vikings are on the way. The plan here is to push with, what, the first 2 tanks and to rally across the map after the drop play. We'll see if Maru can retain these units and maintain his army. Build up his army, more importantly. As Maru, he does move out. We'll drop into the natural. It does run away. So far, no major damage. Holding onto the Lunar Mine, actually going into the main. Marines at 9 mining. Gerald does pull back. And pulls back, he pulls away. Marines are getting picked off, and we shouldn't get much more done here as the Lunar Mine is going to be chased down. Oh, there we go, does get cleaned up. Gerald does hold. Did lose a lot of mining time, did lose 2 pros. Again, Gerald, he does hold on. Behind this, Maru, his tanks have arrived. He's got 2 tanks already. 3rd tank is on the way. There's that Viking. If you notice, Maru, he did cancel his Viking initially, and he made a Liberator, then followed by the Viking production. And again, Maru, his goal here should be to push early on with a bit of a vanilla Marine push without stim. As this tank count is building up very fast and very quickly. Drop gets spotted. Ooh, Viking barely does go down. Okay, nice knife. Nice knife for the Viking. Tank volleys going off. And again, it is crucial here that Gerald does slow this down. He's slowing down Maru. Diving into the main base. Does blink in. Ooh, even delaying tank production. Not bad. Gets a tech lab. And Maru's still pushing. Yeah, Maru, he's still moving out regardless. There's a recall back home. Gerald, he's taking a 3rd base. And Maru, he's committing... Oh, never mind. He turns back around. He backs off. Liberator got 4 probe kills in the main. And Maru, he's rallying everything together here. All right, what do we have? 4 tanks. We have 4 tanks, 1 Viking, 1 Liberator reinforced. Again, tank production is delayed. There should be a 5th tank on the way. So again, this is slowing Maru down. And here it comes. And again, if you're curious, this was meant to hit without any upgrades. That's why there's no tech lab. Oh, brutal supply block. Yeah, brutal supply block here. Add-on swap. Okay. Going for the add-on swap. I mean, tank production was delayed, but now we can start stim. And Maru, he decides not to push out. I mean, Gerald's done a great job here at engaging ahead of time. He's done a great job at buying time as well, getting his 3rd base. Even counterattacking, he does bypass Maru's army. Gerald. Can we get a tank? Oh my god. Okay. Tank is saved. Jesus. Maru, he maintains his army. But this has been a really big win here for Gerald because again, Maru, he wanted to commit without any upgrades. Now he's forced to get combat shields, +1, stim. This is heavily delaying the push of Maru and allowing Gerald to build up his economy, to build up, to saturate, to get into charge, to get into storm. There we go. Storm is on the way. Now, can we survive until Storm? Can we get there? Gerald. Ooh, as Liberator has arrived. Late reaction. Okay, 3 probes going down. Nice harass with the Liberator. Maru is still building up. On 3 Raxes. At this point, again, he's waiting for his upgrades. Now, the one thing for Maru here is that thankfully he didn't lose anything, right? He didn't lose any tanks specifically. The tanks did survive. He's been able to retain them throughout the course of the early game to make use of when it comes to this eventual stim timing. And Storm is done. Like, Storm, it will finish in time. Now, it's all about Gerald buying time once again and slowing this down. Maru, he will push, and by the time he does, it's going to be on Gerald to pick away at the Marines, maybe get a medevac, maybe get a tank. Here he comes. Yeah, here comes a mass on siege. Maru, he does push. Getting a Widowmine, getting a Marine. Couple of pickups here and there. Still a massive army. And it comes down to those storms. How many had Templar? 3. Yeah, 3 Templar coming in. Tanks do siege. Gerald, he commits. Ooh, has Templar get started. Brutal pickup. He had no storms, but the tanks will go down. He gets all 4 tanks. And now it's time to back off. No. Now it's time to back off. We're going to back off, make use of those storms. Again, down to 2 High Templar. He can't waste them. He cannot waste those storms. At least he reset the tank count. Okay, 3rd High Templar is morphing in. And remember, behind this is no 3rd CC, right? There's no 3rd base. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that Maru didn't pull the boys. I assumed he would. Okay, boosting into the main. Oh, we have brutal mine shots. Mine shots go off. There's a recall back home, and Gerald is out of position. And Maru just picks up, pulls away, pushes through the center. Gerald is being pulled apart. Ay. He's trying to keep up. Let's go 1 storm. Nice free split. And nice split set by Maru. He should still be cleaned up. And Gerald, he's holding on. And so far he is holding. Ooh. Storm barely takes down the Widow Mine. And Maru got a choice to make here. Ooh, Ghost Academy. Okay, he's going for the Academy. Still no expansion, by the way. Like Gerald, he's getting up to 4 bases, and Maru has still not expanded. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Gerald. Gerald, he's almost there. The medevac gets 1 medevac left. Stims are limited. And see Gerald, he's paranoid about a drop. Oh, this is gonna hurt him in the end. Yeah, bleeding out stalkers. This should not have happened. 3, 4 stalkers going down. Ay. Gerald, he was premature to split. He was terrified about a counterattack, but there was none. This is where the reputation of Maru just helped him. Like Gerald's like, yo, Maru, he's gonna lose this fight. He's probably pushing somewhere else. He wasn't. Like there was no other push. So Gerald here overreacted to something that wasn't happening. Maru took the better fight. And now this is going to be a tougher defense as a result. A tougher hold. Okay, 3rd CC has begun for Maru. Mine just going up. Some decent connections. Where storms are coming in. Maru's got his first couple of goes here, and again, the 3rd CC is almost done. Oh, gets a better back. It's a nice big off. Has to be circled with that prism. Oh, the prism! Oh my god! Prism pulls away. Storm lands. Yeah, Storm does basically a nice EMP out of Maru. High Templar, they clumped up. And Gerald, he recalls. Yeah, recalls back home. Does pull out. And again, Gerald, he's been playing this well, but where's the follow-up tech? You can see that Gerald, he's been missing warp pins. He had 1,000 minerals in the bank. He's showing 9 cannons. Shield Barry, he's trying to spend his money. Gerald, we gotta lock in. What do we need? Colossus. Ideally, you want to get out of these just mass High Templar, get into Colossus. Get into the Bay, diversify your splash damage, especially now that Ghosts have hit the field. And there it is. Now we have the Bay, but this is late, to be honest. Like, this is a late Bay, late Colossus. The macro of Gerald was slipping. That's why he's double expanding, getting 2 bases at once. He just had so much excess resources. And this is allowing Maru to recover. Now, this center base is very exposed. You can storm from the other side. You can just throw down a storm. You can deny mining. There was just a fresh set of mules. Storm is coming in. Ooh, it does storm. Nice EMPs. Oh my god. Prism barely gets away. 1 High Templar goes down. And Storm denies mining, but still 5 SCVs only go down. The rest do survive. That was a lot of storms. He's very committed. Gerald, he gears up for another drop. Has to be so careful because now there are Vikings. Vikings have arrived. Gerald's coming in. And Maru's turtling. He's turtling up. Okay, gets into the main. Not bad. Gets in, kills SCVs. Maru drags him all the way back home. Can we snipe the Ghost Academy? Oh. Go to my shots. Yeah, the Academy is gonna go down. Okay. Esther Gerald. Academy goes down, gets the mineral line, and not a bad trade. Throwing away mainly zealots. The prism is left idle though. That is a concern. Maru doesn't quite move in. Prism is left alive. It's barely out of vision. As Maru, he floats as natural. That's how desperate he is, but he's able to maintain himself. He floats over as natural. He's on a very low base count, very low mule count. But he does get a fresh mining base. Gerald, we have money. There we go. Going for another big warp in. Killing the CC would actually be quite impactful considering how low the base count is. So CC forced to lift, but Zelda wouldn't really get much more done. Dragging the army out of position. Zelda run by is denied. Here comes the main force here of Gerald though. And again, this is the most important mining base for Maru. However, doesn't connect. No Colossus. Okay. Okay. I mean, there are 7 Vikings. Zealous a little bit premature. They're moving a little bit too soon. Yeah, the Gateway army isn't here. There's just not enough here for Gerald. His army's just so fragile. He can't stick around. Down goes the Disruptor. Down goes the 3 High Templar. Like, again, he has to get out of here. Like, he can't stay. Oh, never mind. Decent Novas. Oh, good. He rallies in. Yeah, Gerald, he's making some mistakes. Does rally in. Throws away Disruptors. And as you mentioned before, like, Gerald, he could not stick around here. He will lose everything if he's not too careful. Yeah, High Templar gonna be falling and he's being cornered. He's being cornered. Gerald here overextended. He will lose every high-tech unit. The Archons, the High Templar, the Disruptors, the Prism. It all goes down. Very expensive losses. That was 5 Disruptors and 5 High Templar. Ay, ay, ay. Gerald still has to supply a lead, but he's not making it easy for himself. Let me say that. He's far enough ahead where it may not matter. We'll see. Nevers go up. They graze the army. Maru's all in. Maru, he's down to 26 SCVs. He has no economy. Maru, he has been out trading, but it's the economy that's killing him. Again, remember, he chose not to expand. Like, he's not been getting bases. He's just been lifting his CCs. That's how committed, that's how all in he's been. Blinks forward into the army. Bold move. But GG gets caught. Maru, he runs out of steam. Again, he had no economy, only 26 workers. And Gerald, he will take down Maru and put another point on the board. GG. Streamerzone? Yo, we're popping off, papi. GG, well played. Winding it back, again, Maru, he was very all in the entire game. As we were trying to emphasize, he intentionally was staying on a very low base count, very low SCV count. He was very committed, very all in. But a lot of this game came down to the early game. What occurred? Well, Maru, he was committed, but he was bleeding out a lot of units early on, and he was being delayed quite heavily. Referring to the moments where Gerald was able to shut down the initial drop play, where Gerald went for the backstab, delayed the push, engaged ahead of time, sniped the tech lab, delayed tank production. Like, there was so much that Gerald did to make sure that Maru missed his timing. Essentially, he missed his timing, he missed his move out. That delayed Maru quite heavily to later timings. And by the time he hit with Stim, Storm was already done. Like, Gerald, there was a time in this game where Gerald, he was getting a 4th when Maru was still on 2 bases. And when Maru did not have a 3rd CC on the way. Like, that's how committed Maru was on 2 bases. And this is, like, the downside of Maru's style currently, is that Maru is very predictable. Like, in the lead up to this series, we spoke about how Maru, he's very fond of 2-base all-ins. He almost exclusively goes to 2-base all-ins. And because you double down so hard on this kind of aggressive build, if it fails, if it falls by the wayside, if it's delayed, then there's a reason why it's gets caught in all in, you fall behind, right? You fall behind, and Maru, he was trying to keep up, trying to stabilize. He never quite got a solid economy, could not quite sustain himself, but was having some better trades than Gerald. It did look like Gerald had some nerves, like he was making some mistakes, rallying in disruptors, losing some High Templar, like definitely rough around the edges there, but it did look like he was nervous because he was ahead, because things looking better for Gerald, and there was a couple of mistakes here and there as a result. But GG. Against Maru of all players, of course. But GG, well played. Just after Rebellion Patrick before she was so far ahead. Yeah, as we were trying to emphasize, like the fact that he did have such a great economy, that Maru was so committed, that he had so little to reinforce with. Maru, he was trading well, like he was straight up just out trading his opponent, but there's only so much that a two-base economy can really do for you, right? The streamers are in the zone. True, true. Whew, oh my god, okay. And with that, so we have a very surprising initial result here. Let us head on over to the matchup list. We do have Streamerzone up 2-0. We have LunaSea. LunaSea took down Zoun. Gerald took down Maru. And now it all comes down to the 2v2. Oh boy. So a couple of things here. I'll be honest. I was liking what I saw out of Nightmare and SOS in their series against Lambo and Harsum. Like, I appreciated what they were doing. Like, maybe they were lacking a little bit of killer instinct there, but I can see them being a real threat. Zoun and Ryung, as we were trying to emphasize previously, they don't really have a lot of experience in 2v2 together. Ryung, whenever he competed in 2v2, we spoke about this at the start of the broadcast, he would often play with Gumiho, right? He would have Gumiho as a partner instead, and Gumiho is not on Team Vitality, so he's not an option here to be a teammate. Likewise, Ryung, he played with Maru last night as the 2-2 partner. Since then, Maru has stepped away from 2v2 and Zoun steps up instead. And we'll see how Zoun and Ryung mesh together. We'll see if they have that kind of synergy. We'll see if they can work together and make this a reality. I do favor the Protoss and Terran duo. Like in general, like Protoss and Terran is typically a superior force, or is the 2v2 like pairing to go for, especially when it comes to Skytol, especially when it comes to mech, just in general how the armies, how the units complement each other. So they will have that going for them, but again, we'll see how good their teamwork is. Otherwise, we could see a 3-0 for Streamerzone, like, which would be crazy. Let's go. We could see it, Pappy. We could see it. As we are setting up. So I'm just setting up the title. Beautiful. Oh, as we are loading into Gem and Garden, and again, the pressure is now heavily on Team Vitality. Oh boy, here we go. As spawning in the top side, in the top left-hand corner here of Gem Garden, we have the blue duo. We have our South Korean Protoss in Zoun. We have our South Korean Terran in Ryung, and together we have Team Vitality. And spawning in the bottom right-hand side, on the right-hand side of Gem Garden, we have the blue Protoss. We have the South Korean Protoss. We have the duo Protoss team, I should say, of SOS and Nightmare for Streamerzone. Here we go. Here we go, Pappy. Here we go. Welcome once again to Gem Garden, and welcome to something very special here. Welcome to a 2v2 matchup. Now, if you're in the chat, I would appreciate some translations. Like, yo, you ever touched 2v2 before? Young's like, I played some 4v4s. I don't know, Pappy. I don't know. But again, a lot of these Korean players are very inexperienced when it comes to 2v2. They did not embrace it anywhere near as much as the foreign scene in regards to the 2v2 circuit that you thermal ran. Here we go. Hopefully they're trying to they're not one to trash talk each other, unfortunately. A lot of the Koreans are like, I mean, I say a lot of the Koreans in general, I would say that most of the StarCraft 2 scene nowadays, I guess it's because it's so old and because everyone's been around each other for so long, there's not really much animosity between players. Like a lot of them, I mean, I guess to be fair, especially some of the foreigners that have like some cheeky trash talk. True. Yeah, that does happen. And to be fair, we have had trash talk between Byun and Maru, 100%. They're often very cheeky with each other as well. True. Like there are some like pairings that are really good friends, and they do clown with each other. Like Byun with most players actually. Like Byun with Hero, Byun with Maru, Byun with Solar. Yeah. He has a very cheeky personality. Byun, I mean. So sometimes we get a bit of trash talk there. For now, we are going to be settling in. We do have our players taking our natural bases. Nothing crazy when it comes to the early game. We do have our initial CC here into double gas from the side of Ryung. Tech of choice here, going to be a Twilight Council for Zoun. Meanwhile, when it comes to our double Protoss duo here, we do have a Stargate opener out of SOS going for a late expansion. Meanwhile, Nightmare going for a more economic start instead. So last time we saw SOS and Nightmare, they went for one base all-ins. This time, we're seeing something more economic. So we're building up into a longer game. Obviously, they're saying you should subscribe to the Ducklings. Ah, true. If you want replay packs, if you want emotes in the chats, then subscribe. Quack. As now 2 up second into the middle line, 2 up second one-shot probes. They can one-shot. The Oracle does move out. I would say that the pressure is more so on Streamerzone, on the Streamerzone team, just because SOS has kind of had a bit of a lackluster start so far. If this Oracle doesn't do any damage, then they will fall behind. Speaking of finding damage, SCVs are left on their own, getting one. It's one SCV, but just the one. Early stim, going for a 3-1-1 setup here. Late starport, hyper aggression out of Ryung. Okay. So basically what's happening here, Ryung, I believe he skipped his, did he skip his Reaper? Yes, so Ryung, he skipped his Reaper. He did go for earlier bioproduction, early stim into a late starport. Later medevacs. As a result, he will have an influx of Marines early on, going for that earlier stim timing. This will hit quite hard. I would imagine that Zoun wants to hit alongside him. Checking Zoun's gateway count here, Zoun, he does have 2 soon to be... Scan took down the Oracle. Brutal pickup. Oracle goes down. Extra gateway is going to be on the way. So far, that's a 3rd gateway for Zoun. Waiting for a 4th. SOS Oracles into Phoenixes. We do see Nightmare working towards Colossus production. Phoenixes, they make their way in. Looking to make their way in. Stim is finishing up. There's that medevac. This should be medevac into add-on swap into... Sorry, this should be a starport into add-on swap into medevac production. Into Ryung's initial move out. Prism is on the way for Zoun, so we can reinforce across the map. Is looking for a way in. God, they're so chatty. I want to know what they say. SOS is like, no rush 10 minutes, Pappy. Stay at home. Give us some time. As charge has begun. Oh. Prism gets caught. Okay, nice pick up out of Nightmare. Does deny the Prism. Also, I love how I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it's only been it's only been Ryung. Like Zoun has not been like Zoun, he's not been chatting He's just been fixated on his build. He's been like full serious mode. Been focusing. And here comes that push. Here he comes. Again, he's got his upgrades, stim, combat shields, +1 is almost complete. Ryung does move out. Zoun is coming in to reinforce. Now, ideally, Zoun would have had his warp prism with this so he can warp in across the map as well. That is a bit of a downside here for Zoun, as he has not rebuilt that prism. But blue team is pushing. And again, like, these Phoenixes, they haven't done anything. Like, I feel like SOS, he has Stalkers getting caught out. Again, Nightmare is on his own. Like, SOS, he hasn't really added much to this game. I mean, he's been busy chatting, man. Oh, God. SOS, por favor. Again, it was just a really rough start for SOS, right? Like, the late expansion, Stargate, Oracle opener. Phoenixes, they can lift up tanks, but there's so much anti-air here. Like, we'll see if the Phoenixes can actually crowd control. Let's see if they can move in. Tanks are within range. Phoenixes are trying to catch reinforcements. As the Nexus is going to go down. So let's get some SCVs. Ooh, we recall. Okay. Feel like we could have kept pushing here, but does recall back home. Maybe not pushing, but maybe rotating. Nice catch on the tank. One tank goes down. SOS finding some free medevacs as well. Oh my god. Yo. We'll put in the question mark. Put in the SOS. But nice pickups. Nice pickups. Again, the army does pull away. And Zoun is now claiming a 4th base. He did have this southern expansion already taken. If we didn't see army pulling back, we could have seen Zoun and Ryung rotate over to this base, but again, they just backed up. And the game will continue. From here, Zoun is building up quite a substantial army. Got plenty of Colossus, Charge Lots, Blink Stalkers. We do see that likewise SOS trying to work on that ground army as well as he gets caught out. Ooh, losing 2. Losing 2 Phoenixes. The army does collapse in, coming in for a attempted surround. Colossus, they do try to engage. Tank volleys going off. Massive volleys here on the Stalkers. And we'll see if we can get on top of those tanks. We barely can. The Phoenixes, they lift. They manage to lift. They get every single tank. SOS is like, the Phoenixes, they were worth it. They were true, true. Did break through in the end. Lifted up every single tank. And really, it's Nightmare's army that is looking like a nightmare here. We have 3 Colossus. We have a couple of Immortals. He's got his Death Ball. The Phoenixes, they hit his support. SOS is here to support Nightmare. As Nightmare does rotate. SOS is distracted by the 1 Warp Prism. That's a little bit concerning. Nightmare's on his own. Nightmare does find an expansion. Ryung and Zoun, they're pushing out. There should be a recall. As that's the second prism. Zoun, he had 2 prisms out on the map. They both get shut down. The army gets spotted. And we'll see if we recall back home or just walk. He's running. Okay. It's racing back. SOS starts getting to the middle line. Zoun and Ryung, they're forced to commit. Nice run by us here out of Nightmare. Yeah, getting some more bases, killing more SCVs. And Zoun and Ryung, they're being picked apart. Nightmare's about to max, by the way. If you look at the supplies, Nightmare is about to max out. SOS is like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, God. Like, Bappy, I'm just chilling, I'm just making Phoenixes. True, true. The question mark. Ah, no. But I love how this chat has mainly just been SOS and Ryung. Like they've been it's just SOS and Ryung talking to each other, and like both Zoun and Nightmare, they're just locked in. They're trying to carry their teams. No. Nope. So far we're keeping up. Nightmare, he's maxed. Like Nightmare, he's maxed out. Nightmare, he might just be able to 1v2, to be honest. Like he might be able to 1v2 at this point. Oh boy. Of course, SOS is here to support him. What do we have to work with? We have 3 Colossi, 6 Archons, 3 Mortals. It's a hefty army here for Nightmare. He should not be scared to move in. Any individual player here would just topple when it comes to fighting against Nightmare. SOS, he harasses, he distracts Zoun. Zoun, he's distracted on the top side. Now, my concern here is that Nightmare, he's been maxed for like a minute at this point, and he hasn't pushed. And this is allowing Ryung and Zoun to catch up. Like Ryung, he's slowly catching up in supply. He's building up his army. Not saying that Nightmare has to like A move and commit into a fight, but ideally you want to be trading. Like Nightmare, he's building up a bank, right? He's building up a mineral bank, a gas bank. Ideally you want to go in, trade out your zealots, reinforce, keep trading, and just ensure that the supply stays low. Nice catch here by SOS. Catching out Zoun. Ooh, yeah, Zoun is gonna lose everything. Gonna lose everything here. We can see Ryung and Nightmare respond. Oh no. He's like, my teammate's doing his own thing, pappies. Leave him alone. Hey, I like how Zoun chimed in. Esther Ryung. Yeah, mass EMP in the Archon's not bad. EMPs are nice. Phoenixes, they shut down the Vikings. And Nightmare here overwhelms. He should be able to overwhelm here. Yeah, breaks through the main army. And with that, there's nothing left. Ryung saying double Protoss imba. True. Hey, Nightmare spoke for the first time. in a while. Yeah, as Nightmare is making his way up the ramp. And GG gets called, and Streamerzone. Oh my god, I didn't get to update the in-game screen, of course, the in-game scores, I should say. But GG, well played. Streamerzone, they will claim the series 3-0. Crazy, Pappy, crazy. Streamerzone taking down Team Vitality. I was favoring Team Vitality quite heavily here, but alas, LunaSea, he kind of set the tone. He set the tone here. LunaSea over Zoun was crazy, and then Gerald alongside Nightmare and SOS, they followed suit. They did follow suit. GG, well played. Very impressive showing here by Streamerzone. Very well done. Very well done. GG, well played. Likewise, coming into this 2v2 game as well, Nightmare was very comfortable. Nightmare, he was left alone for most of this game. The reason why Nightmare was able to be the first to max out is because he was just chilling. He was just chilling, being quite greedy, expanding as well. We spoke about it. We spoke about Team Vitality. They did have a window. They did have a timing. I'm referring to the moment when they went for their first stim tank push. They moved that across the map, and if you remember, they denied the 4th base of Zoun. They denied the 4th base. But if you remember, they recalled. So they killed the base, and then we saw Zoun recall, and then Ryung turned around. This is because of the Phoenix counterattack. There were Phoenixes that were hitting the bases of Ryung at the time. And because of this pullback, it meant that Nightmare, his 3rd base was untouched. Like, his 4th was still in production. Like, he wasn't really too committed there, but he had a 3rd base up running behind it. He had the superior economy, better than any other player in the game at the time. He was able to keep it, and then just retake his 4th base and build up from there. SOS did a great job when it came to harassing and keeping the opponents busy, whether it's harassing with Phoenixes or harassing with his words. Whether like SOS, he was able to distract them well enough, and Zoun was able to snowball from there. And again, SOS had his own nice moments as well when it came to supporting the army, when it came to lifting up all the tanks, or there was some nice zealot run-bys as well, of course. No major like Phoenix damage or Phoenix harass, but zealot run-bys and did threaten the bases anyway. GG, well played. With that, congratulations, as Streamerzone, they will claim the series, but there is still one game left. There's still one game left here. We have a best of one between Nightmare and Ryung. Oh boy. Now, if you recall, I did mention that this is going to be a rematch. Ryung did 2-0 Nightmare not too long ago in an open tournament. Ryung was looking very strong, very powerful, and I do favor Ryung coming into this. But at the same time, Nightmare, he's also, in my eyes, the ace player for Streamerzone, and likewise, Nightmare, he can still take it to Ryung, and it's the best of one. Best of one, anything can happen. Do we get a clean 4-0, or does Ryung fight back and put a point on the board for his team? Again, the series will still go in favor of Streamerzone, but map score does matter, so this game will still be played out for that final map score. Oh, I see LunaSea in the chat. LunaSea. God, papi, God. GG, you played well, Pap. You played well. You had a really impressive first game. Really impressive first game. For those who are watching, and for those that are watching in Twitch, in the Twitch chat, LunaSea's here. Like LunaSea, who just competed, who just beat Zoun. He's in the Twitch chat. Much love to LunaSea. 안녕 하세요. LunaSea. But here we go. We're jumping into our next game. We're jumping into our final game of the series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Andromeda, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Streamerzone. It is Nightmare. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Also, if you're still here, LunaSea, can we get some translations? All I know is that Nightmare is laughing at whatever Ryung is saying. He's like, it's time for the old man to come out of retirement and actually take some games for his team. True. Tuna, Dongwon. He's here to succeed where Zoun and Maru did fail. Ryung. Ryung, he did pull some extra workers, so a bit of a rougher start here for Ryung. Does go for an economic start. Ranks expand. Single gas opener out of our Terran player. Here we go. Yes, from here, Ryung is going to be opening up. Likewise, Nightmare, he does take his expansion. Welcome to Andromeda. Andromeda is likewise one of the, I say smaller maps. It has a shorter rush distance. The map isn't too small. The map is actually quite wide. The map is quite wide. But to be honest, the sides of the map here, the left and right hand flanks, they never really come into play just because of how short the rush distance is by ground. So far, at least, the games that we have experienced on Andromeda have been shorter. They've been shorter games. They've been more intense, more aggressive, more in the face of your opponent, is what we've seen so far on this map, because of that direct path into your opponent's third. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Doki in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it for 4 months. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. As Ryung did go ranks expand, but CC on the high ground. So high ground CC. Ryung playing a little bit safe. And we have Nightmare going for his second choice, going for his Twilight Council. It's so in character for SOS to only play the 2v2 matches. No. You're not wrong, you're not wrong. I'm sure we'll see some of his 1v1s at some point, but he has found his niche, he's found his role. Do you like it? He's like, I'll be the annoying one. I'll be the I'll do the best I can to just harass, to be a thorn in our opponent's side. And you can macro, Nightmare. You can macro. It's like, okay. That makes sense. As Ryung does open up a 1-1-1 intercept Banshee play. So it takes his natural base. Banshee production has begun. Going into Cloak. Overcase is going to double down. He's going to invest. Getting into Cloak Banshees. And we'll see if Nightmare can get into the main base. We'll see if he's able to get a scout of what is coming his way. Behind this, Nightmare, he still plays it safe regardless. Going for his own Robo on 2 bases. So a very safe play out of Nightmare. Detection is going to be available. that, ooh, is going to be shot down. Nice cleanup out of Ryung, and so far I believe Nightmare is in the dark. He did not get eyes on the tech, he did not get eyes on the potential upgrades. Nightmare is unaware. But again, thankfully he's just blindly getting his own robo, taking his gas, going for a later expansion. So 3-gate blink, robo into a delayed third. Oh, nice bait here by Nightmare. Does barely take down the Cyclone. Okay. Nice time on the Cyclone. Soldier control. The Observer's popping out, but the Observer should be moving out across the map to scout. There's a bit of a lower chance it's going to be at home to defend. So there is still potential. As Banshees do move out. 2 Banshees, they can one-shot probes. They're making their way across the map. And Nightmare's taking up into Storm. Is taking up. Banshees, they make their way in. Where's the Observer? The Observers are... There's one at home. At the natural. And the Banshees, they do find the Observer. Observer's in position. Banshee's going to be going down. Oh, they do get a couple probe kills though. They have 3. 3 probe kills, and the Banshees, they do barely get away. So we get an okay start here for Ryung. Bearing in mind, this was a very big investment going into triple Banshee production. Banshees are continuing. Factories are on the way. We're getting to mech. So Ryung is going to mech it up. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Mass tank into Banshee. Battle mech has been weakened. Is definitely a little weaker coming into the latest patch. But we're building up tanks, Hellions. Macfield is on the way. We'll have some Cyclones to help support. Oh boy. We might be here for a while. So typically the strength of this kind of build is you want to build up and turtle up on 3 and then 4 bases and then push across the map. And I do actually like this choice on Andromeda. If you recall, we bring this up all the time when it comes to Pylon. The dangerous thing about Pylon is how short the rush distance is, how direct the rush distance is, and as a result, we do see a lot of mech on Pylon in TVP with this style, where you just turtle up on 3 and 4 bases, you max out, you push across the map, and because the time it takes to get across the map is so short, your opponent doesn't really have much time to slow you down, right? So it's difficult for the Protoss player to slow down a mech army and to delay the push. We see Nightmares being proactive. The Observer, of course, sees everything. And he's pushing into a pre-siege line of tanks. Nightmare, I'm not too sure he can actually break this. We'll see. Bunker is done. Deepers are up. He's going for the Storm. And the Storm will land. Yeah, Storms are tanks. The boys are being pulled. And we get some massive tank shots. The Prism goes down. Prism does fall. The Stalkers are getting into the tanks, so they still get 2. It takes down 2, 3, 4 tanks. Every tank barely goes down. And Nightmare, he breaks through. He breaks through the main army, but doesn't get into the mineral line. Honestly, pretty close. Like, imagine one more warp in. Imagine one extra warp in here. That might have been enough to get into the mineral line. Ryung does survive. Whipping on my Google Translate. Let's go. So after that attack failed, Ryung, he said here, he's like, hey, do you have somewhere to be? And Nightmare's like, it's urgent, papi, it's urgent, I gotta go. And he commits to another push, of course. He's diving on top of the Cyclones. I mean, there's no tanks left. Massive Storm in the middle line, and Nightmare, he's done it. He's done it. He has broken the base, has broken the third. That was a cheeky exchange. Aye, aye, aye. As Banshees are trying to hold their own, but this time there's plenty of anti-air. This time we have some Stalkers. The Archon as well. 26 SCV kills. And this is becoming critical damage. Ryung, he will be able to barely hold on. I spoke too soon to get a massive warping of Stalkers. I mean, Nightmare, he said he has places to be, Pappy. From Kiri back, Sylvie just contains Ryung on 2 bases. He's stuck on 2 bases, stuck with the worst economy. Nightmare getting his 4th up and running, fully saturated, +2 is almost done. And even though the supplies are deceptively close, the soup does lie, right? The soup does lie. As time progresses here, it's going to get better and better for Nightmare. Time is in his favor. So Ryung, he still has a decent army to work with, but he has to push out soon. Here comes a mass on siege. Ryung, he floats over his 4th, okay. Does float over. Does spot the observer. Reinforcements are coming. War Prism is on the way. And we've been here before. We've been here before. The third base is just so open here. We spoke earlier how we do often see a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins pushing into the third, and that's kind of what we're seeing here from Nightmare, just hyper-aggression, going for the third base time and time again. And Ryung, he should not be able to hold on. He's got 2 tanks left. Down to 0. Yeah, 0 tanks remaining. Zelda just pop off against the Cyclones. Banshees are doing what they can. There is no detection. The invisible flying machine, Pappy. Ryung, he's holding. No detection. And we just get free damage. We just get free down. There we go. Till the observer arrives. Oh, he wants the observer. Oh my god. Barely gets away. And we're just going to rinse repeat. With Nightmare getting a 5th base up. Nightmare rebuilding, and every time he pushes in, he's resetting the tank count. He's still dealing critical damage. And that last attack there, he didn't quite get into the mineral line. Ryung pushing into Nightmare. The last is a flank ready. Catching more Cyclones, this time diving on the Banshees. Gets 1, gets 2. 2 Banshees go down, and the final Banshee will fall. As we're running out of Zealots, so Ryung can actually defend. Oh my god, the Cyclones! Cyclones, they pop off. Oh. Yeah, without charge Zealots they can, you do need that support. You do need that buffer. Zealots, they finally get across the map, they make their way in. And do we just kill the CC? Yeah, we oh my god. So close to going down. As once again, Ryung, he's barely hanging on every time. It's like, Pappy, you should just stop trying. Just leave me alone. Ryung, he's hanging in there. Nightmare getting a 6th expansion. Ah, no. Nightmare would double the base count, but he still cannot kill Ryung. Ryung, he refuses to die. Just leave me alone. Oh. Template barely pulls away. I mean, Nightmare, he does not want Ryung to stabilize. Thankfully, Ryung, he's still stuck on a more battleman composition. Okay, get ready. Good. Okay. Oh, okay, we're going in. Oh. As Nightmare, he does commit into the mid-run. This time does pick up some SCVs. He still can't really break the main army, but workers are going down in the midst of all of this. Yeah, 12 SCV kills. Sorry, just trying to screenshot the conversation. Nightmare, he was saying, like, how come you're not dying? Like, why are you in such a good position? And Ryung, he was like, yeah, that's right. I'm Terran. As Ryung, he does hold the zone, we'll bleed out 15 more SCVs. Yeah, basically, Nightmare is like, why don't you just die? The power of mech body. Nightmare's getting a 7th base. Does get on top of the planet here. Nice zoning storm. Planetary barely goes down. Barely does go down. Zelta coming from behind. And finally, Nightmare, he does collapse on the main army. I feel like we've been... Nightmare, he's been trying to kill Ryung for like 10 minutes even. GG gets called. Finally, he's broken. And Nightmare, he will take the series 4-0. And Streamerzone will get the clean sweep. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations to Nightmare. Congratulations to Streamerzone. Again, a very intense back and forth and a very surprising result as well. I mean, again, it all kind of, we set the tone. We set the tone with the first series with LunaSea versus Zoun. Again, LunaSea was able to gain that momentum, able to lead the charge here for his team. Took down Zoun on Ruby Rock. We had Gerald, who was able to shut down the 2-base all-in of Maru, the all-in that just kept on going and never quite really hit its stride. Then we had the 2v2, which was also a lot of fun, a lot of banter as well between SOS and Ryung specifically, with SOS being as annoying as possible, allowing for Nightmare to max out and just snowball out of control. And likewise, we had the final game here between Nightmare and Ryung, a bit of a back and forth here with Ryung just refusing to die, Nightmare even commenting on that throughout the game, but in the end, Nightmare was able to break through, again, recognize the mech, and was able to just hammer his way at that 3rd base time and time again. Would build up, back off, build up again, and just keep hammering at that 3rd base, eventually breaking Ryung. Eventually. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Streamerzone as they do get the win over Team Vitality. And with that, we are in a really weird place here. It's going to come down to this final series. So far in the groups, what do we have? Shopify got a 4-0 over Streamerzone. Streamerzone got a 4-0 over Team Vitality. And it all comes down to this final best of 5. The 3rd match, the final match of the broadcast, Shopify versus Team Vitality. Oh boy. Now, if Shopify win this, then I believe Shopify, they advance on. If Team Vitality win this, depending on the score line, then we're going to have to do some math here. We're going to... We'll have to do some math, depending on how things do transpire and how we're able to kind of like pick between, or how we're able to delineate between the remaining teams. But so far, again, the pressure is on. And, again, Shopify, it's on them to claim this. Otherwise, I'm sorry, it's going to be really on Team Vitality to win this in a strong way, in a strong standing, to have a chance to make it into those playoffs, as we've had nothing but 4-0 so far. So when it comes to the next matchup here, we have Shopify and Team Vitality. We have Lambert versus Zoun, Bjorn. We have Lambert, Bjorn, and Harsam. And Scarlet, true Scarlet, making her debut in the Cranky Gather Season 2 tournament. Scarlet has been inactive, has been absent in all these Team League matches until now. So great to see Scarlet taking part. It's possible that as well, because this was the last series, that Scarlet was able to wake up in time for this match. Likewise, Team Vitality having a bit of a rough series. We'll see if they can bounce back. For now, we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we will have that final best of 5. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break.